My friend Dritz yesterday was live reacting to some One Piece, some sad One Piece moments, and it led me to start watching some old One Piece clips. I don't know, the nostalgia was just building for me. I just felt like this is why I fell in love with the show. Like, One Piece cannot be compared to anything for me at this point. Even if sometimes the quality isn't up to par like what I expect it to be, it still has a special place in my heart, and I don't think anything can change that. Nothing. It doesn't matter how the series ends or whatever happens. One Piece will always be One Piece to me. The more I read this chapter, the more it's the embodiment of that. The Jinbe moment was touching. Everyone being genuinely happy at his return. It really felt like now he's part of the crew. Even Carrot was included here. I'm not sure if that's a foreshadow that Carrot is definitely going to be joining the crew, but I enjoyed that panel. It was great. And they echoed the sentiments that I've been saying for a while, that Jinbe is a former warlord. And they're like, yo, we have a former warlord on our crew. Can you believe that? And it's a huge morale boost. And 100% Jinbe is lying, because the fact that it's mentioned in the same panel after he said they got busy tending to wounded sun pirates and they had a big send-off, if he said that some people died trying to save them, that kills the morale. So I think it's confirmed Jinbe is lying about what happened. Something devastating happened to the crew, but I don't think we find that out until the end of the battle. It just makes more sense at that time. Someone was saying, does Jinbe and Komatsu have a heart-to-heart at some point? Because Komatsu doesn't even go by Fishman. So I wonder if they have a sit down and they talk about identity, because I think there's something there that can be explored. It's no secret, Fishmen, they deal with discrimination a lot. That's something that Jinbe has been fighting for. Queen Otohime, King Neptune, everybody's fighting for equal standing at this point. And I think the person everyone was depending on to merge both factions, Fishman and human, was Jinbe. I mean, the Gorosei said it, and people realized just how impactful Jinbe can be. So I think Jinbe passing on that knowledge and just that mindset to Komatsu would be perfect, especially with who they're around right now, the Straw Hats. And even if you don't want to admit it, directly or indirectly, the Straw Hats, they're going to change the world, and they're fighting for something much greater than themselves, and that includes the Fishmen. So Komatsu taking on and accepting his identity, that would go a long way for progression, not only for his character, but for the cause that the Straw Hats are fighting for, even if it's not something that they talk about often. The plan is a lot clearer now. Law points out that the people that they're going to try to crush are the Red Scabbards and the three captains, Luffy, Law, and Kid. It's a built-in function that it doesn't matter what Luffy and Kid does, because they're going to charge straight in regardless. So they're going to use them as a diversion. So they're going to be two groups going on either side. Law's submarine is going to go around back, and there's going to be a scabbard for each path. So essentially they're going to be attacking Onigashima from each side. I think what this says here is that everyone is not going to be jumbled together. It's a typical Straw Hat plan, right? In which everybody goes in, but everybody gets separated at some point. This is a built-in separation. So they're obviously going to encounter different people at different times. So I actually love this strategy, in which everybody's not charging in and then some unfortunate event happens and all of a sudden they're separated. No, they're going in different places. So we're going to have our individual matchups, our individual warm-up fights. When you think about it that way, that's really exciting. The thing is with the Straw Hats though, they're charging in. So at some point they're eventually going to get separated because they're going to be the diversion. But that's typically how they do things. So that's like, it's geared towards their strength. Kinemon and Denjiro, the relationship is still there from all the way back then. In the past, in which Kinemon was Denjiro's senior, you can say, and he still looks up to Kinemon. And they're even saying Denjiro still thinks so much of Kinemon, so highly of Kinemon, and it's become a gag now, and I'm actually enjoying it. So So Kinemon's facial expressions, they've been golden the last couple chapters. I really think it's incredible that Zoro can't find water at a beach, but he can sniff out alcohol from miles away. Like, Zoro came back with alcohol with this huge smile on his face, and even everybody in the comments were saying this was great seeing Zoro smile that way, because we haven't seen it in a long time. We've seen him smile, right? But having this grin on his face, I loved it. And of course, Sanji has a scowl, right? It's just the yin and yang. I just enjoy those two so much in their dynamic. I mean, I think, like I've been saying before, it could be so much deeper because of their ideals and how they go about things. But regardless, I love Zoro and Sanji and what they bring to the Straw Hats together. I know I talked about the Straw Hats and them taking out the Guardians that quickly, but the Straw Hats and Luffy, they have a way of building morale. Just how they operate, it instills such confidence, because everyone now, the morale is boosted even more because of how easily they took out that first hurdle. My problem was not with them taking them out at all. My problem was with the Kid Pirates not doing anything. Something as well that I didn't mention in the previous review that I was waiting for was about Zoro and Enma and the casual use use of Enma now. We remember 955, when Zoro first got Enma, Enma took his haki, but then he took it back. We then see Zoro training and trying to learn Enma and use it better. This is in training. Zoro is now using Enma in combat. That means that Zoro has mastered Enma to some degree. So he's gotten to the point where he's comfortable using it in combat and he can regulate his haki. Of course, there's a ways to go before he truly masters this blade, because I think once Zoro does master Enma, which I think he probably will do in Wano, the effects will be devastating. But we see here he's using it and it's not overwhelming devastation like when he cut the cliff, right? And that's kind of exaggerating, but still, he's found a way to regulate his haki and regulate the use of the blade. So I really like that. I really enjoyed seeing that. It's a small thing, but I am a Zoro fan. People think I hate Zoro because I like Sanji, and I think it's foreign to some people that you can enjoy both characters, Zoro and Sanji. It's kind of like in the NBA where people feel like you can't like LeBron and Kobe or LeBron and MJ, but it's a small thing I wanted to point out. With this chapter, I think something can be said to Oda trying to develop the Kid Pirates in a different way. You could have him take out the Guardians and do different things, but Oda here decided to use this moment to characterize the Kid Pirates in the way he normally does the Straw Hats. Let me explain. Oda uses Kid here, right? And Kid has his normal soliloquy about not letting anyone get in front of him or ahead of him, and Killer shows up and he laughs. And then Heat and Wire, they laugh the same way. And you hear a crewmate say, "You're going to pay for turning our killer all cheery." Somebody else says, "Now we would have to be one of those cheerful pirate crews." And he said, "Stop it," and then they laugh again. So it's showing you that even in the midst of all that was going on with Killer, right? And it's sad with him eating the smiles and just being forced to laugh, they can have a good time. And we've never seen that within that crew. It's always been dire straits, something of high leverage, nothing really cheerful. And Oda is showing us here that Kid's crew, even if they have that reputation of killing people, they have a good time together. While I'm still annoyed that Kid is just doing the same thing again, I really like what Oda decided to do here with Kid's crew, in which he's given us a deeper look into the dynamic of how they operate. And he even used Luffy, right? Because of how much fun they were having, Luffy even commented on it and was like, "You know what? Why are they having so much fun? Don't let their ship get there first." So I thought that was a good play. Initially, I wasn't feeling it because I was like, yo, I just want to see Kid and his crew show out. But this was a good way to give us some character for the Kid Pirates. Kaido's son, a huge topic, a separate video. I have a video coming tomorrow, which I'm talking about Kaido's son, what I think about him, who he could be, the implications of it. So expect that tomorrow. But I think this is big news. This is a big deal, and we'll definitely talk about it. A Yonko having a son, this is big. We saw the Big Mom Pirates talking about, if anything happened to Big Mom, how Katakuri would take over. I mean, in this way, is this setting up, an heir for Kaido? It's a lot to get into, but man, big news. Queen is dancing again, which I always enjoy, the Crank That Queen. The funny part here, right, that I'm not sure if a lot of people got, where Queen asked for Oshiruko, right? And they said, "Wait, Big Mom wants plenty too." Instead of Queen saying, "I don't care, bring me Oshiruko," he's like, well then get cooking, you idiot. Queen has learned his lesson. Queen has understood the hierarchy of things, which if Big Mom wants Oshiruko, Big Mom gets her Oshiruko, and they just have to cook some more, right? Queen understands that now. So that was genuinely funny when I read that, and I just caught up on him like, oh my God, Queen does not want to smoke with Big Mom again. He's learned his lesson. And like I mentioned in my last review, Big Mom is changing into her kimono. I'm excited for that reveal. I wonder what color it could be. Of course, when the anime comes out, that's going to be interesting. Olin is in full effect. And I think it's funny showing the silhouette and how many people it takes to change her into her kimono. So that's going to be another insane reveal. The Tobi, Roppo, the Flying Six, they're here. The initial translations changed things and it gave a different perspective because it said that they demanded an audience. This said that they're present. Should you just bring them in? Didn't say anything about them demanding an audience. They were just there. So then Kaido said, let me just introduce them to Big Mom. Flying Six, I made a video on that. I'll link it in the description down below if you want to check that out. This is cool. It's a really cool thing that Oda did. It made them relevant again because now people are intrigued for who they are and what they can do. I love all the shoes. The shoes are great on all of their feet. But of course, we have to wait and see. No chapter next week, but we'll have a chapter the week after that. But there's a lot of content to come. So it was a really fun chapter. So many moments. It was hilarious. I know people are mad at the weakling trio again, but that's just a gag. Usopp, Nami, and Chopper, they will step up when they need to. This is One Piece. This is what it brings us, and you just gotta love it. So guys, give me your thoughts. What do you think about a chapter? Really good chapter. Like a really, really good chapter. But how do you feel about the Flying Six? How do you feel about Kaido's son? Give me your thoughts. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter because that helps as well, at BragoD8. Also follow me on Instagram at BragoD.Ace. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. You help me out and it means a lot. Okay, it really means a lot that you guys help me out in the manner that you do. So again, guys, like and subscribe. I shall catch you in the next one. Peace.